Hey, what's up? And recently a bunch of people have been making videos about used manga and how a lot of people aren't really huge fans of it because it doesn't directly support the industry. And even though I'm generally against scans overall, I definitely am not against used manga. I think that buying used manga is perfectly fine. I've done it a ton. And I really just want to make a video kind of giving my thoughts on this because a bunch of people were making videos against used manga, and I don't really think a lot of people were giving this side of the take. With that being said though, if you're super against used manga and you want to give your thoughts about it, feel free to give your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to check it out. I mean, I personally really like used manga, but if you're against it, I'd like to hear the reason for that. Now, I'm honestly a little bit late to this discussion. I think a lot of people were making videos on this topic like 3 months ago, and I was meaning to make a video about this for quite some time, but I just never really got around to it until now, so it's gonna have to do. So I guess one of the big questions here is, does used manga support the industry? And does it support it directly? No. I mean, pretty much all the money you're spending towards used manga is going towards someone else who already bought it. It's not going towards the creator of the manga or the publisher, so it's not going directly to the industry, but I think indirectly it definitely does support the industry in quite a big way. And I think definitely a lot of people overlook this and just look at the direct to the publisher and the direct to the original creator in terms of support. And to go more in depth into this, I think one of the big reasons why used manga can indirectly support the industry is it gets a lot of new fans into a series and just manga in general. I think there are a lot of manga fans who are super young and don't really have a ton of money, or they're just a bunch of manga fans who don't really have like the money to buy everything new. So I definitely think that buying it used can be a great way to get someone into a series. For instance, with Hunter x Hunter, I bought the first 32 volumes used, and with Naruto, I bought the first 50 volumes used. And even though I got most of both of these series used, I got the rest of it new, whether that be a box set or just individual volumes on Amazon. I got it new, and that did support the industry directly. So I think that even if you don't get the entire series new, if you get part of it used and then the rest of it new, that's still supporting the industry right there, and I definitely think that's something that shouldn't be overlooked. And I especially think this is important because a lot of people don't really want to buy a series that they don't know much about. And I think that if someone can buy a series used for pretty cheap, and if they really like a series, they'll probably end up buying some of it new, or they'll just buy some of it digitally. And there's probably a large audience of people who have only gotten into certain series because they've gotten it used. And I can actually speak on this myself, because there are definitely some manga that I've read where I only really got it because I found it for so cheap, and I liked the initial volume so much that I just decided to pick up the rest of it. And I definitely do want to bring up again that I am separating buying used manga from scanlations. I definitely think reading scanlations is a completely different scenario, and I think it might be just another topic for another video. I think those are two very separate topics. But yeah, at some other point, I might make a video on that, but for now, I'm just really trying to keep this topic on used manga. Because I think one of the main problems that people have with scanlations is that a lot of scanlations have ads on them. And a lot of this is really just taking away money that could be going to the original creators. And let's just say someone gets a subscription to the Shonen Jump app. It's a subscription where you can pretty much just pay like $2 or $3 a month and get a ton of manga. So if someone gets a subscription on that and just reads a ton of Naruto on there, versus someone else just reading the first 50 volumes or so used and then reading the rest new physically, I mean, you're probably going to spend more money just buying the rest of the series new. And overall, it's still supporting the industry, even though it wouldn't support it as much as if you were to get every single volume new. And even though that is the ideal way to support the industry, it's not something that everyone can afford or have space for. Now, that might be a hot take, but the concept of people buying and selling used items has pretty much existed since the dawn of time. I mean, even in the caveman days, there were probably some cavemen who got tired of using the same stones to play with every day, and what did they do? I mean, they probably sold those stones for some lima beans or something like that, And this is pretty much the same concept as buying used manga. It's really no different. It's been around since the Stone Age, And yeah, I really don't think it's too much of a hot take. Now, obviously, the Stone Age example was a bit of an over-exaggeration on my part, but the point still stands. And if you disagree, I'd love to know what you guys think. So drop a comment in the comments below, slap a like on it, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. I got some bangers planned. I just gotta, read some more stuff. I think with my Goodnight Pun review, I'm probably just gonna combine some other Asano stuff into one bigger video. But with all that being said and done, I will see you guys in the next video.